It's 11:47 p.m. You're in bed, phone in hand. You weren't looking for anything. You were just scrolling. And then something caught your eye. You don't need it. You know you don't need it. You've needed it for exactly the last 4 minutes. And then now it's in your cart. And now you're checking out. And now it's done. And in the morning, you're going to feel that specific kind of stupid that only comes from buying something at midnight. That means nothing by breakfast. But here's what you don't know. That wasn't weakness. That was your brain running a program so old it was written before money existed. Part one, the real reason you buy. Let's talk about what actually happened in those 4 minutes. You weren't buying a product. Your brain was buying a feeling. Neuroscientists at MIT discovered that the moment you decide to purchase something, your brain releases dopamine. Not when the package arrives, not when you use it. The moment you decide, the decision itself is the reward, which means your brain got everything it wanted the second you clicked buy. What happens after, the product, the use, the value, that's your problem. Your brain already left. Psychologists call this anticipatory pleasure. The brain values the future feeling of having something more than the actual feeling of using it. That gym membership you've paid for 11 months in a row without going, your brain felt incredible the day you signed up. That Netflix subscription you keep forgetting to cancel, your brain felt possibility the day you started it. The subscription to the app you opened twice, day one felt like a new version of yourself was just around the corner. Your brain bought the corner, not what was around it. Part two, the subscription trap. Here's where it gets specifically American. The average US adult pays for 4.5 subscriptions they rarely or never use. That's not a personality flaw. That's $1 billion industry built entirely around one psychological truth. Recurring charges are invisible. Your brain processes a one-time purchase as a loss, $200 for something you'll use once. That hurts. $19.99 a month for something you might use someday barely registers until you add it up. $19.99 here, $14.99 there, $9.99 for the one you forgot about, $29.99 for the one your partner doesn't know exists. Suddenly, you're spending $600 a year on things you decided to buy and never decided to stop. Companies know this. They don't make it hard to sign up. They make it hard to notice you're still paying. The free trial ends on a Tuesday. Nobody sends you a reminder. The charge appears quietly between the electric bill and the coffee you bought Thursday. And you see it and you think, I should cancel that. And you don't. Because canceling requires a decision, and your brain already used up its decision energy on the midnight cart. Part three, the 2 a.m. purchase. There's a specific kind of purchase that happens late at night. You know the one. Not the gym membership, not the streaming service, the one you don't tell people about, the course you bought to learn something you haven't started, the gadget that was going to change your morning routine, the premium version of the app you were already using for free, the thing in the cart that felt urgent at midnight and embarrassing by morning. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon studied late night purchasing behavior and found something important. Decision fatigue peaks between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that evaluates long-term consequences, is essentially offline by then. What's running the show instead is your limbic system, the emotional brain, the ancient brain, the one that sees something that promises relief from boredom, from stress, from the feeling that today wasn't enough, and says yes before the reasonable part can say wait. The 2 a.m. purchase isn't a money decision. It's an emotion in a checkout form. Part 4, the shame loop. Here's the part nobody talks about. The morning after, you see the confirmation email, you feel it. That specific combination of embarrassment and mild self disgust, and the quiet decision to not think about it, and you move on. And 3 nights later, you do it again because the shame didn't fix the feeling that caused the purchase. It just added another feeling on top of it, and that new feeling needs relief too. Psychologists call this the shame spend cycle. Negative emotion leads to impulsive purchase. Purchase brings temporary relief. Relief is followed by shame. Shame is a negative emotion. Negative emotion leads to impulsive purchase. The cycle doesn't break itself, it just keeps running, quietly, monthly. On a credit card statement, you open less and less. The shift. Here's what breaks the cycle: not discipline, not deleting the apps, not cutting up the cards. Awareness. The moment you can name what you're feeling before you open the cart is the moment the cart loses its power. Next time you feel the pull, the midnight scroll, the subscription that promises a better version of you, the purchase that feels urgent for no reason you can explain, pause for 60 seconds. Ask one question: what am I actually feeling right now? Not what do I want to buy? What am I actually feeling? Bored, stressed, behind, empty? Like today wasn't enough. Name it. You don't have to fix it. Just name it because your brain doesn't want the product. It wants the feeling it thinks the product will bring. And the moment you see that, the product stops being the only way to get there. You're going to buy something you don't need again. So will I. So will everyone. That's not the problem. The problem is buying it without knowing why. Spending money you didn't plan to spend on relief you won't remember from a feeling you never named. Your brain was built to seek reward. It's just very bad at knowing the difference between what it wants and what it actually needs. Now you know the difference. That changes everything. See you next time.